Welcome to our Hope FM Candidate Forum. We are pleased to introduce you to the candidates running for mayor of City of Palatka. We have Robbi Correa, who is the current mayor, and Karl Flagg, Tatyiana Henry Daniel, and Constance Daniels. And our goal with this is just to help you make an informed decision as you go to the polls. The primary election is coming up on August 18th. And of course, we always encourage you to vote. And every once in a while, there is an election that is determined in August. And so we want to encourage you to head to the polls and vote in the primary election for the mayor of Palatka race. The person, if there's a person that gets 50% plus one, then they'll be declared the winner. And if not, then two candidates will move on to the November election. And so what we're doing here today is just offering you an impartial candidate forum, giving you the opportunity to vote for whoever you feel is going to be the best candidate. Now, when it comes to doing these forums, we put them on video so we can then post them online, encourage our listeners to watch them and share them. Hope that you'll do the same as well. Each candidate has been given a list of questions ahead of time, and each person will have 1 minute to answer each question. We'll have a timer going, so if the timer goes off, we just ask that you wrap up your answer within just a few words. And we're going to also rotate the order that everybody gets to answer their question. So we're going to start with the current mayor first for the first question, and then each candidate will have the opportunity to answer. And then the second question will move to the next candidate. That way nobody has to go first or last with either one of those. And as we go through this, it's going to give you the opportunity just to hear the candidate's thoughts and not necessarily a debate or candidate to candidate discussion. So this forum is just the opportunity for you to better understand the priorities and the visions of each candidate. So with that being said, let's go on and ask Mayor Robbi Correa the first question. I want to ask you to tell us about yourself.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Robbi Correa. I'm currently the mayor of Palatka. In fact, the first female mayor ever elected in Palatka, which I'm proud to be a part of a little bit of Palatka's history. I think you can already tell that I was not born and raised here by this accent. I grew up in Providence, Rhode Island, went to college there, and raised my children in Northeast Connecticut, Putnam, Connecticut, to be specific. I have 3 sons, 2 daughters, and 4 amazing grandchildren, 3 fur babies, and 1 fur cat baby. So I have those. I'm a former special needs educator. I was also a public administrator for the state of Connecticut Department of Developmental Services, for over 27 years, a former grant writer also. And I'm currently a licensed real estate associate and a downtown small business owner at Lemon Street Market in Mercantile in beautiful downtown Palatka. I chose to move here 21 years ago, making it my home. I have a variety of skills in both the public and private sector, as well as with nonprofit organizations. I continue to be invested in Palatka's future through my actions as well as financially.
Thank you so much. And we'll move on to Karl Flagg. Same question. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Good morning. It is an honor and a privilege to be here. My name is Karl Flagg. I'm a native and lifelong resident of Palatka. I'm also a husband, father, grandfather, brother, etc. We have, my wife and I have been married for 40 years, 2 daughters, very, very productive daughters, Carla Nicole and Candace Nataria. And Carla is married to Jarvis Wright Sr. We have 2 beautiful grandchildren, Jayla Faith and Jarvis Fonte II. I am a longtime pastor of Mount Tabor First Baptist Church, 35 years. I've been a funeral director for 43 years, and I am a lover of our community, a lover of our city. I have been engaged, served as mayor from 2000 to 2011. I also served previously as a city commissioner and then successively a county commissioner for Putnam County. So I am delighted to be here. My work speaks for itself. My name speaks for itself. I'm very humbled, and I am a man of integrity, a man of simplicity, and I'm just determined to continue to build upon what previous commissions have done in the community.
Okay, thank you so much. And Tatyiana Daniel, you're next. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tatyiana Henry Daniel. I am 22 and proud to be the first and youngest African-American woman to run for mayor in Palatka, Florida. I am dedicated, goal-driven, and committed to both personal and professional development. I was raised by my grandparents at the age of 8 when I moved to Palatka. I am not married and I don't have any kids. My grandparents are Junior Roger Daniel, who ran for mayor in 2022, and his wife Patricia Daniel is a community advocate. They have both brought positive improvements to the Palatka community. At the age of 16, I began my first job at Publix while also navigating the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. I chose virtual learning through Putnam Virtual School via FLVS, where I graduated a year early. I also serve as a secretary on the board of a nonprofit organization called Community Fresh Start, Inc., where I contribute to bringing positive change to the Northside community. I also work as a part-time property manager for my family's large affordable housing complex, Northside Village Apartments, LLC.
Thank you so much. And now we go to Constance Daniels.
Thank you. Good morning, Palatka. I apologize. Good morning, Palatka. I am Constance Daniels. I am a native Floridian whose roots run deep in Putnam County. My grandmother, Alice Gordon, is a Creek Indian born in Norwalk, near Georgetown, and her husband, Sam Gordon, hails from Willaca, if I'm not mistaken. My mom was born and raised and married here in Palatka, and so 4 of my 5 siblings were also born here. My mom has lovingly served this community as a local hospice nurse. Long before I became a practicing lawyer, I was a student athlete and teen mother. I held myself accountable as a teenage parent, assumed responsibility accordingly, and took my 18-month-old son to college with me. I'd like to say that we grew up in college together. We began our collegiate journey from Palm Beach Community College, Santa Fe College, where I earned my AA degree, UF, where I earned my BA degree, and UF College of Law, where I earned my law degree. For nearly 31 years, I fought inside courtrooms protecting indigent clients. I am the grandmother of 2 grandchildren. I have an extensive criminal attorney background. I represent special needs children. I'm the daughter of a veteran, sister of a veteran, niece of a veteran. I intend to serve Putnam County as a servant leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much. For our next question, we'll start with Karl Flagg. So tell us why you're running for this position. I think this is going to overlap a little bit, but your experience and what you feel qualifies you to be able to fulfill the duties of the office.
Thank you so much for the question. I am, again, a passionate citizen of this community. I am vested in this community. I know that I can provide the quality leadership that is needed to move us forward. I believe that we're at a crossroads as it relates to productivity. It is our season. It is Palatka's season, and citizens need leadership that they have confidence in the integrity of the leadership, confidence in the facilitation of the leadership, and we must work together as a team. There is no I in team. So we don't need a mayor that's driving the bus from the back seat. We need to be progressively thinking about the vision and the future of our city. And the reason I'm running is that I believe that I have the confidence of the voters and the electors. And not only that, our daytime population is more than double. We have people who own businesses in this community who live beyond the community, but they are interested in the success of Palatka. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Daniel, same question. Why are you running for this position, and what experience do you have that you feel would qualify you?
Yeah, I'm running because I believe in the potential of the city of Palatka. Our city has a rich history and a vibrant culture. However, we face challenges that require bold leadership. I'm committed to addressing these issues head on. My campaign is more than just about politics. It's about the people. Now, through my experiences, I have consistently demonstrated academic excellence. I've been featured on the front page of the local newspaper. I have been in the top 50 scholars and received also numerous accolades for my achievements. However, I have also served in the United States Air Force for about less than a year. And I was a client system. I'm so sorry, I can't speak today. But I served as a client system apprentice while I was in the Air Force. Now, also because of that, I've also been studying the Sunshine Law. So while I'm not fully experienced in knowing how to run a city, I'm willing to learn and go as I go.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Daniels, we'll ask you the same question. Why are you running, and what do you feel qualifies you?
Thank you. I'm running because Palatka is at a critical turning point that demands a fresh perspective and sharp legal discipline, not more career politics. Forward movement away from our city council's year of stalled administrative gridlock and leadership turnover. I'm qualified on day one because I bring 31 years of rigorous, real-world courtroom experience, contract litigation experience for approximately 7 years. I was the managing attorney for what I believe to be Florida's third largest government court-appointed agency, the Office of Regional Counsel. I'm admitted to practice law before the United States Supreme Court and all of Florida's federal courts. I've spent my career managing, reorganizing, and implementing workable office operations, researching and untangling complex statutory frameworks. I know how to read a municipal charter, hold administrations accountable, hold myself accountable, protect tax dollars, and I have the exact advocacy training needed to move our government forward from this empty, ready-made, real-world life lawful execution.
Thank you. And slightly different wording. Why are you running for re-election, Robbi Correa?
I'm running for a second term to continue all the projects that are in process and pending in the immediate future. As the other candidates have stated, Palatka is kind of at the cusp. There are a lot of people that have shown an interest in Palatka and from different areas. Palatka, I think everybody I've spoke to wants to keep Palatka's personality and charm, that quaintness that most of us live here for. But we also have to do that, encourage development, but encourage development that has some boundaries. We have to set those boundaries in place. I think I'm eminently, with my experience as a public administrator, able to do that. We have continued to replace over 6 miles of infrastructure, which started in the last administration, but had not been done previously. That will continue. City parks and playgrounds have been updated with maintenance plans for the futures. City properties and historic assets have been rehabbed or repaired. Many of these issues have not been addressed in decades. We need to preserve Palatka's historic character and charm while creating opportunities for planful, positive growth.
Thank you so much. For our next question, we'll turn to Tatyiana Daniel to answer. First, Palatka has faced a lot of concerns in recent years, especially regarding city management, leadership, and accountability. So if you're elected, what specific changes would you make to improve the effectiveness of our city government? And how would you hold that city leadership accountable for delivering the results to the citizens?
Okay. As a leader, I want people to understand that government transparency is the key to keeping people accountable. I want to also share information by filing formal requests under the state law of Sunshine Law to demand hidden documents, emails, and data to show that we're keeping people accountable and showing that they're doing their job, what they're supposed to be doing. But I also want to increase community participation. These steps can help local leaders make better choices and build trust for the public.
Thank you so much. And for Constance Daniels, the same question.
Thank you. Accountability is the backbone of my platform. To fix our city management's crisis, I will immediately institute 3 concrete changes. First, we will work with the commission to end the cycle of costly interim consultations by appointing a permanently highly credentialed and full-time city manager, aspirationally within 6 months. Second, I'd work to encourage the commission to implement strict data-driven performance reviews directly as to our infrastructure timeline. Third, I'd fight to establish an online municipal transparency portal where every public contract can be reviewed, active work order can be reviewed, city dollar that's spent is fully traceable by our residents. As an attorney, my entire career has been built on enforcing compliance and demanding discovery. I will do my best to ensure that the commission stops micromanaging personnel, start strictly holding executive staffs accountable, and measurable audited outcomes. The solutions component of my platform is what I'm advocating. Thank you.
Thank you. And Robbi Correa, if reelected, are there specific changes that you would make to improve the effectiveness of city government and be able to make some deliverable results to the citizens?
Prior to my term in office, there were no documented goals or expectations established for the city manager. There are no records indicating a previous city manager ever received a performance appraisal. That has changed since I've been in office. The last two city managers, because we now have an interim city manager, did receive performance appraisals, did have goals and expectations set for them. Obviously, they didn't meet those, and therefore they're not here anymore, and which is unfortunate. The application process, we definitely need to refine, and I'd like more community participation in that. I can say in the past, there was an initially committee of residents that did look at all the applicants and gave 5 or 6 to the commission for the final interviews and say. I also agree everything has to be transparent. In fact, it is on the city website. You shouldn't have to request any documents if you're the mayor. You should have access to them all, as should every citizen in this community. You can also make a public information request if you don't see something on the website. So that information is all there. It is transparent and available. And we have to remember, as the mayor, you do not oversee your fellow commissioners. You are on an equal platform with them.
Thank you. And Karl Flagg, same question.
Thank you so much for the question. First of all, we need to recognize the duties and responsibilities of administration. There should never be crisscross between legislators and administrators. There should be a partnership. They should be married, for lack of a better way of saying it. The city manager, as chief executive, chief administrative officer, must turn the mayor and the commission's vision into measurable results. That is how the rubber meets the road. That is how we cross the finish line, and that is how we do what needs to be done. We need competency, we need excellence, and the spirit of excellence should resonate from the legislators through the administrator all the way down to the newest hire. We need to make sure that financial stewardship, economic development, infrastructure improvements, that leader is able to articulate it and also able to implement it. And we need city management that knows how to balance a budget, who can handle audits, grant funding, and capital planning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, Constance Daniels will go first with that one. Palatka is growing. So how do you balance growth with preserving the character and the history of our community?
I consider myself a part of that growth since I moved here a few years ago. And so I've watched, though, my entire life, Palatka transform from what I saw as a very small town to a very thriving town. So we have to view our rich history as an economic asset, not an obstacle. True preservation requires revenue. We cannot protect our brick streets and landmarks like St. Mary's if our general fund is depleted. My strategy balances growth by directing heavy commercial development towards our highway corridors while aggressively using our community redevelopment agency funds downtown and throughout our community. I'll seek grants as an additional revenue to improve our cities, adjust our growth, and preserve our historic charm. We can incentivize adaptive reuse, restoring and transforming historical storefronts rather than demolishing them. Tours of our historic places like the Brunson Mulholland House, the train station, airport is a way to generate growth, to attract growth, to generate revenue, and those things can only be a positive as our city continues to grow.
Thank you. And Robbi Correa, same question.
I agree with Ms. Daniels. We need to preserve Palatka's historic character and charm while creating opportunities for planful positive growth. We did put an impact fee. Legislation was in place in May 2023, so the cost of any required infrastructure will be covered by the developer. We also are in the process of getting downtown listed on the National Register of Historic Places. That provides very little. It's an honorary title, so it's not very punitive in terms of a property owner, but it does allow the opportunity to apply for federal historic tax credits. It does allow more grants availability. The city is really very grant dependent as we go now. We have millions of dollars of grants over the last several years that we have applied for and been awarded. As a former grant writer, I can say that I got the Hotel James on the National Register of Historic Places. I did that application several years ago. I believe in Palatka's history being an economic driver for this community. Downtown has the most dense revenue base that needs to be restored and rehabbed. And we also need to improve the overall appearance of the Highway 17 corridor so that it is appealing and have some wayfinding signage to get people downtown.
Okay. And Karl Flagg, same question. How do you balance growth with preserving the character and history of our community?
First of all, there is a need for a counterbalancing of economic growth and the historic charm and character of our city. Economic development and historic preservation, first of all, must not be perceived as competitive. They need to coexist. It needs to work hand in hand. For a city like Palatka, it means that we have a mentality of growing with purpose and preserving with pride. We need to preserve what makes Palatka unique. We need to encourage compatible development. We need to revitalize before expanding. And most of all, we need to support our local businesses. There are so many that are coming, but those that are here who have weathered the economic storms need to be supported. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so I believe that we have a AAA city. It just needs to be polished. Thank you.
And Tatyiana, Daniel, same question.
Okay. Building growth, character, and history requires smart planning, like everyone else has said, regarding protecting our old historic buildings by setting district designs and rules and engaging residents. Saving landmarks, such as keeping historic buildings useful through adaptive reuse, setting design rules requiring buildings to match the scale and style of old ones, and involving the locals. Hold public meetings to hear what residents value most, and offering tax breaks. Give financial rewards to owners who fix up historic properties. That's it.
Thank you so much. And we'll move back to Robbi to answer first on this next question. Beyond taxes, what opportunities do you see for generating revenue or strengthening Palatka's economy by building on the city's existing assets?
The city must continue to work with our partners at the Chamber and also the Board of County Commissioners to bring micro industries to the area. Also, the Small Business Development Council needs to encourage entrepreneurs to invest in our community and to support, most importantly, our existing small businesses. As a small business owner downtown, it is a struggle, particularly in the summertime, to keep on going. And I know my fellow merchants are having that same conundrum. So we really need some education support, how to go into the future, how to use social media, how to better serve our community and bring people into our community and have our locals also appreciate what we have downtown. The revitalization of downtown Palatka will produce the most tax revenue in the city due to its density. That tax revenue can be used beyond the downtown district into our residential neighborhoods that have less ability to produce tax revenue. Development will produce more ad valorem revenue in the city, which is crucial at this time, particularly in light of the pending vote on the proposed constitutional amendment in November.
Thank you. Same question.
Thank you very kindly. Sustainable economic growth and job creation has to be among the top 3 challenges facing our city. Palatka has had an anemic tax base for years, and it does require visionary leadership. It does require thinking outside of the box. We need to be able to have year-round jobs while preserving our historic character. We must recruit new employers and industries. And if we have contented current industries, they would be our actual liaison to attract others to come. But if they're not satisfied, they're not inviting, and they're not proposing that we move us forward. We need to support existing small businesses, and we can expand our commercial tax base, and we need to have a plan to retain our young professionals and skilled workers. We need to strengthen the workforce. And again, people who want to be in Palatka, we need to convert them from non-productive to productive, and we can do that.
Thank you. Same question for you.
Okay. We can boost the city's revenues and strengthen the local economy by leveraging existing access in 3 key ways: optimizing transportation hubs, monetizing public assets, and expanding digital connectivity. Public land leases, we can rent unused city spaces for pop-up shops, cafes, and clean energy solar grids. We can host events by using existing parks and civic centers for festivals and sports to bring in new visitor spending. And then we can also have market local heritage sites to boost hotel and sales tax revenues. We can also provide simple steps for new small businesses to open up their doors. We can help We can give fair help to full-time local workers to find good jobs close to home, and we can reinforce the city no littering and ordinance and keep the city clean.
Thank you. And then Ms. Daniels, same question.
Thank you. We must maximize our absolute greatest natural asset, the St. Johns River. When I say I really mean we. So please forgive me, excuse me, because I don't, in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I making this an I ordeal. But I position Palatka as the premier ecotourism and bass fishing capital of the world. Our Kiwanis Club of the Azalea City actively participates in this tournament annually. The tournament is huge, revenue generating tourist attraction that can only get better. We need to invite Palatka back, re-invite us. Let's make sure that we are engaged in our own community. Let's make sure that we implement things that attract families, put organizations in place that help to make us a better Palatka, to attract each other, to better enforce our own interests. Those are the types of things that allow us to reinvest our own money, to recirculate within our own community.
Thank you so much. For our next question, we'll start with Karl Flagg. Palatka has experienced some serious concerns about violence, shootings, domestic related incidents, things like that. As mayor, what specific steps would you take to work with the law enforcement, the community organizations, and residents in order to reduce those violent crimes and make our neighborhoods safer? And then how would you measure whether or not your plan is working?
First of all, we need to have all of the community partners singing from the same hymn book. We need to have not only law enforcement, we need our public education system to work with our children that are coming up to teach them conflict management, conflict resolution. We need parenting classes for families that are struggling, and partnering with the Palatka Police Department, Putnam County Sheriff's Department, our Recreation Department, school leaders, superintendent, and elected school board officials. We can really, through our town hall meetings, get the word out so it will resonate in the hearts and the minds of all of our citizens that we can fix what's broken. It's our challenge. We need to work with everyone from the strongest industrial partner all the way down to our homeless population and make us stronger, better, and wiser. And it's really all about us learning to get along with one another. When a person does not have personal peace, they cannot distribute peace. But when we do that, we get our churches involved, we can overcome this.
Thank you. Ms. Daniel, same question.
Okay. We must build trust, fund smart programs, and unite groups through community policing, violence interruption, and local residents boards. We need community policing, such as having officers on foot or on bikes to talk to the locals daily. We can share crime numbers openly so the public sees real progress. And then we can also fund school sports, arts, and job training like vocal schools or YMCA. That way, teens have something more to do during the day and also build skills at the same time. We can also have mental health, send trained health workers alongside for police to help with mental calls. And we can hold open meetings every month to hear the safety worries and see if the progress is doing any good.
Thank you. And then Ms. Daniels, the same question for you. How would you tackle that issue of violence?
First and foremost, know that I am pro law enforcement, pro first responders, pro educators, pro church, pro community. Secondly, I'm also pro accountability. We all have a role to play in the safety of our community, so let's insist on safety together. If we give people positivity, negativity will subside. So let's create scholarships for future educators. Let's create jobs to further independence, which leads to independence, which leads to a stronger families who will insist on safer families, which leads to safer communities, safer neighborhoods. The measured success will be a reduction as to the frequency of law enforcement callouts. The measured reduction will also be demonstrated by the fact that when you have people who have things to do, like children who have after school programs, who have apprenticeships, then that in and of itself makes them more productive. A productive community is a safer community.
Thank you. My apologies about the lights. It's a motion sensor, and apparently we just weren't moving around enough. So it's behind the door.
Swinging back and forth over here is not. We'll have to get up and dance.
Yeah, it's behind the door. So one more on this question, Robbi Correa, how would you approach this situation of violence?
First, I do want to say overall, I believe Palatka is a safe place to live. I feel quite comfortable riding my bike and walking throughout the city. And we have an amazing police department. Although there has been a significant reduction of 14% in the city's overall crime rate this past year, a single shooting or incident of violent crime is one too many. There has been a strong emphasis by the police department on community-focused policing, increased visibility, and solving cases strategically and efficiently. The Community Redevelopment Agency has funded police specifically for that district, thus freeing up other police officers to take care of the rest of the city or be a visual presence in the rest of the city, going out and meeting folks in the community, talking to them, getting to know them, and vice versa. During the past 4 years, for the first time in several years, positions at the police force are at the full staffing complement and therefore better equipped to be proactive versus reactive. The police also do offer quarterly, sometimes monthly meetings where they go to different districts, sections, neighborhoods, and talk to the people there, ask them questions, and ask for feedbacks. I've sat in the audience of those, and we just need to get more people to participate.
Okay, thank you. For our next question, we'll start with Tatyiana Daniel. If someone drives through Palatka 10 years from now, what do you hope that they will notice is different, and what do you hope hasn't changed?
Okay. 10 years from now, I'm hoping people who are driving through will know and will see clean, thriving spaces. I'm so sorry. Clean energy systems and safe community pathways. These changes include wide bike paths, solar-powered streetlights, and local busy shops. Green places, trees on every corner, the street to give cool shade and clean air, parks with clean water ponds for families to rest and play, community gardens where neighbors grow fresh food together, and that also support our local farmers to bring in more revenue for the city. Safer bike lanes, bright solar lights that turn on during the night by themselves, open air markets selling goods made by our local artists, empty buildings being fixed up into homes and cafes, quiet spaces filled with art and music, and more popular restaurants so families can get out and enjoy themselves after a hard day at work. They will see that Palatka has come a long way in 10 years. However, what hasn't changed is the small town feeling with great people and the beauty of the St. Johns River.
Thank you. And then Constance Daniels, same question.
Thank you. 10 years from now, when someone drives through Palatka, I want them to notice that our infrastructure is completely modernized while preserving its historic genuineness. They will see paved roads, updated utility works, and thriving commercial corridors stretching all the way through the north side, in and out of the city. They will see attractive neighborhood parks, bustling riverfronts, a clear sign of economic mobility from our working families. Giving honor to Mary Lawson Brown, who started that whole trend down at the riverfront. I am excited about the fact that we can build on that. But what I pray will never change is the core heart, hospitality, and resilient spirit of our community. I want our historic character, our deep-rooted faith networks, our welcoming small town identity to remain entirely intact, preserved by the very economic stability we want to build on today.
Thank you. And Robbi Correa, same question. What do you hope things will be like 10 years from now?
I think that, and I lost my track here because I'm spacing out. Residents and visitors alike appreciate Palatka's small town charm and character and don't want that to change. Hopefully, in less than 10 years, people will see a vibrant city that preserves its character and charm while creating a safe environment where people want to live, work, and visit. We are currently or already designated as a Florida trail town by FDEP and a designated trail hub for bicycle, kayaking, and hiking. We already get a lot of individuals that take advantage of our trail system, spend money in our community for food, lodging, and retail purchases. We have a strong arts, culture, and entertainment portion in our community. A lot of artists live here, and that's been stronger. Infrastructure's moving along. All those things that my the other candidates have stated are happening and will continue to happen. And I want to be leading that in the next 4 years. So hopefully someone else after me can also continue that progress.
Thank you. And Karl, same question.
Thank you for the question. And also, I thank you for the generosity of time. We don't have 10 years for Palatka to be transformed into the jewel that it is. We need to be able to pull all of our team leaders together from every aspect of government, from the private sector, from the business sector, to really make our community what it needs to be. We've got to get the blight out and get the bright and brilliant in. We've got to make sure that no neighborhood is left behind. We've got to make sure that we are addressing the top priorities within the neighborhood and not just having a think tank among 5 elected officials. We need to be able to get in the trenches. We need to be able to not only hear what our neighbors are saying, we need to be able to feel it. We need to be able to be transparent. We've got to work with businesses and residents so that our community is attractive. We need to make doubly sure that we are moving the needle in the right direction. And it's not because we have all of the answers. None of us will be elected because we have the answers, but we are in pursuit of those answers to make our community the place it needs to be.
For our next question, we'll start with Constance Daniels. This position requires a big commitment, and that's both time and dedication. Are you prepared to meet that commitment?
I am. It's funny to see how we're all reading from our typewritten notes about to answer these questions. So I absolutely am prepared to meet the commitment. My entire life has been defined by a deep-rooted work ethic and an unyielding commitment to service. As a teenage mom, I attended high school until noon, went to McDonald's after that and worked, balanced diapers and strollers, went on to law school. I know exactly what it means to be disciplined, dedicated, and resilient. For 31 years, I've balanced running a private practice with extensive community advocacy. I have consistently shown up as a servant leader as I volunteer for local civic groups like the Kiwanis, Rotary. I also volunteer for Putnam Habitat. I'm a member of the board of directors of my churches back home. I am completely prepared to dedicate time, legal energy, and extensive focus required to serve as your full-time mayor. Palatka deserves nothing less than absolute dedication.
Thank you. Robbi, Correa, same question.
I definitely, and it's been obvious that I have the time and I will put the effort in. I have never, so far, and hope to keep that the same, have participated in every meeting, city commission or CRA board meeting, including special call meetings or workshop. I have never participated via Zoom. When invited, I also try to attend and participate in various other meetings and community events. As a public administrator, I had 24-hour responsibility for people with disabilities and various living arrangements and all the supervision of all the employees in that area. I was there. I have volunteered as a citizen. I was the president of Revitalized Historic Palatka's board. I was the Palatka Trail Town Committee chair, and I still am. I was on the Develop Palatka Inc. board, Palatka Historic Preservation Chair board for 13 years, Conley Slider Mural Committee board member, Noah's Ark Restoration Community member, and a series of other things. I'm on the Chamber board. I'm on the Northeast Florida Regional Council Community Institute board member as well from a regional perspective. So I have devoted a lot of time and energy to this responsibility. I take it seriously and ethically, and I will continue to do so.
Okay. Karl Flagg, same question.
Thank you so very much. First of all, lazy people don't get anything done. Busy people are the people who make things happen. We do not need an apathetic or a sympathetic mayor. We need an empathetic mayor who is ready, willing, and able to connect with other entities and connect with all of our citizens. But at the same time, if the mayor overdoes their time at City Hall, they are more than likely going to be interfering with administrative functions. We need to balance administration from legislative so that our community can thrive. And as long as the mayor, whomever the people decide that person to be, stays in their lane, this community will move forward. There should not be any mixed signals. There should not be any overreach as it relates to the role and responsibility of the mayor. The mayor is the face of the place. The mayor is the ambassador for the city and for the region. And so there will be other committees that the mayor is appointed to, and we should serve and serve well. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Daniel, same question.
Okay. Yes, I am committed. I am yes to meeting both. Hold on, let me start over. Yes, I am dedicated and I am committed to this. It requires clear planning, honest reflection, and steady daily effort. I will check my core values to make sure goals align, build strong daily habits to support long-term goals, and face tough talk with both honesty and patience.
Thank you. For our next question, you might realize, of course, we are a Christian radio station. And when we ask our listeners to submit question suggestions for our forums, at the top of the list is they want to know about your faith. And so our next question, we'll start with Robbi. What role might your faith play in your service on the Palatka City Commission?
Take my faith and my spirituality very personally and privately. My goal would be to strive towards an inclusive and tolerant community that welcomes everybody, regardless of their beliefs. I too definitely believe in keeping church and state separate, and to that end, do that as my role of the role of the mayor. I don't bring my spiritual beliefs into that role.
Thank you. Karl Flagg?
I think our faith should drive our integrity. It should drive who we really are. And again, I think that the citizens want trustworthiness to be a main key factor in the lives of leadership, be it mayor or any other office for that matter. I operate under the HIS principle, which means H, humility, I, integrity, S, simplicity. And by doing that, you build relationships. What is love without trust? What is trust without love? And I think that all of us need to make sure that we are of good moral character and that we practice what we preach and we preach what we practice. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Daniel, same question.
My personal faith guides me through my core values. It shapes my views on service and inspires my commitment to help people. It provides a personal morale compass rather than a political tool. But official duties must be strictly bound by the U.S. Constitution, state laws, and the needs of all residents, regardless of my beliefs.
Thank you. And
Thank you. I don't know how anyone could serve without faith in God, and who should be the foundation of how we move forward. My faith is the absolute compass of my leadership and my life. It teaches me to lead with services, which is why my campaign is anchored on the phrase born to lead, bred to serve. I proudly serve as a co-chairman of the board of directors of my former church and led its legal ministry. My faith anchors me in the core principles of fairness, integrity, compassion, justice, service, togetherness, solutions, accountability, respect, and responsibility, amongst other things. All things that I've listed are required by our Lord himself. On the City Commission, my faith will manifest itself as a commitment to unity and togetherness. It means treating every resident with dignity, fighting fiercely for our underserved families and our families overall, and ensuring that our government operates with absolute honesty, transparency, and moral clarity.
thank you. For our next question, imagine you do get elected or reelected, and it is now the last day of your term as mayor. Karl Flagg, what do you hope that residents will say is better because you served?
First of all, I would hope that all of the residents will say, we are better. Our municipality is better. And it's not because of Karl Flagg's personal serving as mayor, but it's because we had a team that was cohesive, that formed a coalition, that was all working together, because this requires partnership. There is no I in team, and it's very important that a mayor be a facilitator and not a dictator. It's very important that the experienced and ethical and effective leadership has caused the people to be more passionate about our community, or to be more proud of our community, and that we have made a positive difference in moving us forward. So I hope they will say that we are all better off, not because of the mayor, but because we had a coalition of leaders who put the community ahead of their own personal interests.
Thank you.
Okay. I would like to say that me serving has helped the basic needs of the people, created local business growth, and made the community safer. I also want to help fix our infrastructure with our roads. I also want to work with the people with the mall to bring in a state-of-the-art bowling and skating center that will bring in new jobs. I also want to restore the old movie theater in the mall as well. I would like them to see that Palatka is a vibrant and safe place for people to live. Restoring the old Central Academy to house a YMCA through youth development can also create a safe gathering space and build a stronger, healthy community for all ages. I will also want to bring a vocational training school to help the city by supplying a skilled workforce, boosting local business, and reducing unemployment.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Daniels?
I finally got the swing of things.
Oh, you're fine.
Thank you. On my very last day as mayor, I want residents to look back and say City Hall has finally stopped playing politics and started delivering real solutions. I want families to say that their neighborhoods are finally safer, their roads are paved, and there are no longer invisible, and that the community itself is no longer invisible to local government. In terms of safety, I'd hope that they would say that we now have more pride that Mayor Constance Daniels and the commission kept its word and made our city stronger, better, and unified. I want our business community to say that we slashed the red tape and created thriving economic upper empowerment. Most importantly, I want our cities to say that trust, stability, and institutional integrity were permanently a part of the fabric of the mayor's office, leaving Palatka far stronger than we found it.
Thank you. And Ms. Robbi, same question.
I would hope that residents will say, due to my service, because it was part of a team effort, continues to be part of a team effort, nobody can do this alone, that things have improved. The overall appearance has improved in the city. There is a decrease in vacant, deteriorating buildings. People are proud to call Palatka home, and there's an overall improved positive image of our city. I think we are on that track to do that. We will continue to do that, and we will do it in less than 10 years. It's amazing what has happened in the last 4 years, and people will say that all the time when they come through town, when they come into the neighborhoods. There are roads being paved in various parts of the city. Infrastructure, as I said, continues to be replaced as it has never been before throughout the city for wastewater and potable water lines. We now have computer services. We do have fiber optics coming in. The bigger issue will be the cost to people, not that the service isn't available. And we have to find ways that everybody can afford this. Those are the things I hope people remember before, that Palatka has improved overall, and that is part of a larger group effort, not the mayor. The mayor has a small piece in this.
Thank you. Just one last question. And with us being a non-commercial radio station, we don't do any political advertising. That's one of the reasons why we feel like we can offer an impartial forum just for the citizens of our community to be able to make an informed decision as they go to vote. So that being said, this is the closest you get to doing a commercial with us. And we're going to go to Tatyiana Henry Daniel to answer first. Why should people vote for you?
Okay. By voting for me, I will inspire citizens to have the power to create positive change for their community and a better quality of life for them and their family. The more we vote, the more powerful our voices become, and the likelier the issues that are important to us will be heard. I am deeply grateful for all the support and encouragement I have received. It is the collective effort that gives me strength and hope as I embark on this exciting journey.
Thank you so much. Would you like to give any contact information?
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Tatyiana Henry or Tatyiana Henry Daniel, YouTube as Tati for Mayor, and on my website, TatyianaHDaniel.com.
Thank you so much. And then Constance Daniels, why should people vote for you for Mayor of Palatka?
People should vote for me because I bring a new vision. I bring with me the vast experience and varied experience with background criminally, locally, professionally, but I also bring focus on the community in its entirety, not just the north side, south side. I bring east or west side. I bring focus. I bring commitment. I offer a clear and uncompromised path forward. I bring fresh energy, modern solutions, combined with the deep respect for Palatka's historic roots. I have no interest in relitigating old politics. I'm solely focused on balancing the budget, stabilizing our government, and collaborating with our county commissioners as well as our local businesses to lift our families out of poverty, which will strengthen our community as well as our economy. I'm the only candidate who brings approximately 31 years of proven high-level legal expertise to the City Hall. I'm running to deliver service, togetherness, and solutions.
Thank you. And would you like to give any contact information?
Yes, you can contact me on ConstanceForMayor.com. You can contact me at 813-516-4244, as well as on Facebook.
Thank you so much. And Robbi Correa, why should people re-elect you as mayor of Palatka?
I believe I'm the right person to continue working with those others on my commission, as well as county commissions, city employees, city residents, and other organizations and nonprofits towards a positive future for Palatka. I am ethical, enthusiastic, patient, and persistent. There have been multiple improvements and changes in the last 4 years, and I'd like to see those continue. I definitely had mixed feelings about running, but I really am invested in the success of Palatka being a safe and clean, historic, charming city that it is, and bringing that to its full circle, and not having the neglect that's been in existence for many years. People can find me at Robbi, or can email me at robbifopalatka@gmail.com, call me at 386-983-4502, or go to my Facebook page, Vote Robbi for Palatka Mayor. Please, even if you don't vote for me, just go out and vote, folks. It's time to vote, and it's an important thing for us as a citizen to do. It is something that's a privilege.
Yes. And Karl Flagg, why should people elect you mayor of Palatka?
Very good question again. People should vote for Karl Flagg because they want a growing economy, investing businesses, opportunities for families, safer, cleaner, and more connected neighborhoods, a transparent, fiscally responsible, and citizen-responsive leader. We should also vote for Karl Flagg because the next generation needs to inherit a city with greater opportunity than the one we inherited. You can reach me in the grocery store. You can reach me at church. You can reach me on the corner, because I will be in every street, every neighborhood of this community as I have. When I left City Hall before, I stayed connected, and I will always be connected to what I call the AAA city, P-A-L-A-T-K-A, Palatka. That's home for me. I am fully vested and fully determined to make our community better with my forward-thinking mentality. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here and for your time and effort and dedication, not only to coming to speak to us, but the love that you already have shown for our city and for making it a better place. And as Robbi had mentioned, we all have the responsibility now of going to the polls and voting. And the primary election going to be on August 18th. Early voting opportunities are opening up August 3rd through the 15th, and then primary election day, the 18th. If you have any questions about voting, or you need to know where your precinct is, any of that, contact the Supervisor of Elections office at 386-329-0224, or you can call them or visit them at voteputnamflorida.gov. This has been a presentation and public service of 91.3 Hope FM. We hope that you will share this video. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.